is Lucia. Lucia replied me my question with that she believed the things improved the most is the infrastructure in general. Like for instance, when my parents' time, if she want to travel from Kaohsiung to Taipei here, she most likely, if the time is limited, she will take plane. Otherwise, she may choose bus or train, but it will take lots of time. But now we have high-speed rail, so this kind of improvement, she believes, is the most significant ones. Lucia's speech program is what's PM stands for? Presentation Mastery, level 2 program 2. The title is Learning from Aging. Let's welcome Lucia.
In our common sense, asking a female of her age at the first meeting is never a good idea, unless you are police or medical personnel or you're Korean. Well, age is right. Age is so private and personal that we don't talk about it every day. But come on, we all know that as long as we live, aging is inevitable. I'm 41. I'm 41. This is the number that I have never thought when I was a teenager. Well, during my teens, studying and getting high scores are the most important things for me. I thought as long as I can get into a high-ranking university, I can join the clubs as long as I wanted, I can party as much as I wanted, or I can change boyfriends as long as I dare. Well, anyway, my future would be bright. After graduation, the most important thing for me is to find a nice, decent job. Being independent in many ways, especially financially, is very important for me. Well, I never thought at that time finding a boyfriend actually can be another way out, but maybe it's too late now. Well, anyway, sometime after I turned into 30, one day when I was filling out a form, suddenly a lightning struck me. I suddenly realized that now I moved from the block 20 to 29 to 30 to 39. Although I can still remember the shock in my mind, but I have to admit that I also learned a lot during these 10 years. Well, when I was, even though I can still remember the shock in my mind, I really grew up and learned things differently in these past 10 years. When I was 20-ish, I liked to travel, but I didn't like to travel with my parents because they cannot walk as fast as I do, so we might probably skip some sightseeing spots on my schedule, and that made me unhappy. But as time passed, when I turned into 30-ish, I realized that I cannot walk as fast as before, so I have to slow down. Therefore, aging taught me that I have to make choices and to let go something, because I myself cannot visit all the spots, all the sightseeing spots on my schedule anymore. In recent years, I planned some trips, and I still visited several countries and cities. But now I invited my parents to join me. Well, during the trip, we don't visit so much spots or shop a lot, but instead we chat, we have conversation during the travel, and we enjoy the the meals. And the quality of the travel elevated. And at that time, I realized that if I cannot notice how aging affected people physically, I cannot be more empathy. Well, another story about it is about my grandmother. My grandmother, my mom's mom, she was a very needy woman, and that caused some conflict between her and my mother. After she passed away, well, my mother sometimes complained that she missed her mother so much, and grandmother didn't come to her dream, not like my uncle did. So she complained that with me, and I comfort her that, well, actually, you know, in your heart, you already did the best job that you could do as a daughter. That's why grandma already lived in your heart. So that's why you don't dream about her anymore. Well, after I say that, I saw the tears well up in my mother's eyes, and she hugged me really hard afterwards. Well, I can say that regret is nothing can be cured by aging. So at the moment, I'm still learning how to express love and appreciation. Oh, my dear fellow members and friends, how does aging affect you right now? For me, looking back and comparing to the younger myself, I realized that right now I'm more confident and easygoing. And I have the intelligence that I already have, but I also gain the wisdom that I didn't have when I was younger. And before shaking to the TME, I would like to wrap up my speech today as age is not only a number, but also a scale to measure ourselves. Yeah.